The ground at Domuztepe is ordinary at first glance: pale soil, broken pottery, and the wind moving across an empty plain. Nothing suggests what lies beneath it. Nothing reveals the events the Earth had to absorb and keep hidden for more than 7 millennia. But once excavators reached the next layer, silence turned into evidence, and evidence into a ritual so structured it shouldn't have existed this early in human history. Long before cities rose from the Near Eastern plains, between 5500 and 5000 BCE, Domuztepe was already a sprawling settlement, far larger than anything normally associated with the late Neolithic. Recent obsidian provenance studies published in 2024 confirmed that its inhabitants were importing volcanic glass from Cappadocia, roughly 400 kilometers away. Archaeologists long suspected that Domuztepe held more than everyday life, that its quiet surfaces hid rituals no one had yet pieced together. That suspicion became unavoidable in 1996, when the soil gave up something far darker than anyone expected. While excavators were working the western side of the mound, they uncovered the first cluster of bones, scattered, broken, strangely arranged. At first, the pattern seemed accidental, but as digging continued, the shape of a deliberate structure emerged. A deposit containing the remains of at least 40 individuals, interwoven with ash, pigment, broken pottery, and stone tools placed with unnerving care. Radiocarbon dating later refined the timeline to 5300 to 5000 BCE. By then, the pit had become one of the earliest known examples of ritualized human processing in the ancient Near East. The bones revealed their story slowly. Many long bones had been broken when still fresh, cracked intentionally rather than fractured by time. Others showed fine cut marks, the kind left by slow, careful slicing, consistent with defleshing or mortuary preparation. Burn patterns indicated that parts of the pit were exposed to controlled fire. Soil chemistry revealed traces of ochre mixed into the layers, a sign of ceremonial activity performed around or above the deposit. Nearby, archaeologists uncovered evidence of feasting: butchered animal bones, ash-filled pits, and ceramics intentionally broken during the same sequence of events. Nothing about it was chaotic. It was measured, structured, repeated. A 2025 analysis of the lithics found in the pit showed that the stones were not refuse. They were chosen tools, deliberately deposited among the human remains. Some still bore microscopic residues from the activities performed during the ritual itself. They were part of the ceremony, not separate from it. The deeper the excavation went, the clearer it became that this was not a cemetery. It was not a battlefield. It was not a catastrophe. It was something else, something rehearsed over time, shaped by belief, and carried out by a community whose thoughts about death and identity do not survive in any written or oral tradition. Interpretations vary. Some scholars argue this was a form of secondary burial, where bodies were processed after decomposition as part of a long ritual cycle. Others propose ritualized violence, not as punishment or warfare, but as a symbolic act embedded in the community's worldview. A few suggest the pit was reopened repeatedly, each time adding new material, a sequence of ceremonies layered atop one another. Yet the central question remains untouched. Why would a community living centuries before the rise of urban society engage in practices so elaborate, so intentional, and so emotionally charged? Domuztepe offers no explanation, only fragments, only patterns, only evidence that the people who lived here understood life and death through a system of meaning that has not survived. Today, most of the pit rests under protective covering, shielded from weather that would erase what little is left. The bones have been documented, analyzed, and studied, but the beliefs behind them endure in silence. Domuztepe remains one of the earliest and clearest reminders that human complexity did not begin with cities or writing. It began much earlier, with rituals that made sense only to the people who performed them.